Hello everyone, this is Jay Williams, and welcome to my channel, Comic Blast. Today we are going to be talking about a forgotten Batman foe, lover to Jeremiah Arkham, and also a director of Arkham Asylum. She also has a dark origin story to tell for herself. She is the forgotten Batman foe known as Alyce Sinner. We see her making her first appearance in Arkham Reborn, Issue 1, which is a short mini-series. Issue 1 itself would release in December 2009. Here we see is Arkham Asylum being reopened once again. Jeremiah Arkham is the director of this asylum, using his ideas to make Arkham Asylum a better place. Here we also see is Bruce Wayne, District Attorney Case Spencer, Commissioner Gordon, Aaron Cash as his bodyguard, and also as an assistant who is second in charge, Alyce Sinner. So, in this beautifully architecture rebuilt of a unique way to show Arkham Asylum again, what is Alyce Sinner's role? What does she want to do? What is she planning? As you see, the whole asylum is to make all the patients, or really people that Jeremiah considers as, feel welcome in the asylum according to their environment. Alyce Sinner thinks this makes him feel like he's in control of the asylum. You see, you all see this through her thoughts, what she thinks about Jeremiah Arkham. She thinks that even patients are gonna kill each other anyways, and he's gonna lose all control. See, Jeremiah Arkham makes a mistake, and that's to trust her as his assistant director, introducing Benjamin Lilly, another patient of the asylum who went through a lot of dark past and abuse. His signature weapon is a can opener, for many reasons of how he kills his victims. Another thing is, we get her dark past, Alyce Sinner's dark past. Why is she the way she is? And that's what Jeremiah Arkham asks. More because he wants to know more about her. He wants her to trust him as he is trusting her. So, her backstory. She was in a cult. Her parents were leaders. And the cult was called Lux Beta, which is some light cult where her parents believe with their so-called purity, they would be in heaven at the highest level. In fact, this is what the whole cult believed, not just the leaders. And in order to go to this VIP towards God's Lounge, they had to get rid of unpure or impure spirits. Get rid of the demons. And because that didn't work, you know what they did? They did the traditional way of what most cults would do. They would kill everyone. Children, mothers, fathers, babies. It's a messed up scene. And how they killed them all was they gave them punch that was laced with cyanide. The only person that survived in the cult was Alyce Sinner, and the reason why she survived is because she poured out her drink. Now, Jeremiah Arkham says, "Oh, I understand you. I understand what you're going through." We even give a closure of why she names herself Alyce Sinner, and it's because she rejects her parents' views. "We all sin, Jeremiah Arkham," is what she said. Also, when Jeremiah Arkham says that he understands her, she doesn't believe him. She thinks that he's just some fool, pathetic fool, high and mighty. Another cool thing that you see is when she's in her room, her dark, empty room, she takes out a ribbon. It shows envy. She has envy against him. She even goes to a certain mass party dressed as the devil. And she meets up with what a lot of people really think is just some Black Mass cosplay. Is a real Black Mass. They have a little talk about their operations in Arkham Asylum, how to overrule Arkham Asylum, bringing in the Amadeus Code. What's the Amadeus Code? It's to pretty much control the whole asylum, making the inmates really think that Amadeus is in control with his cursed spirit. In reality, It's just Alyce Sinner behind the monitor hacking through many systems. And she takes out another ribbon that shows pride. She feels prideful. She feels like she's in power and control of the asylum. Foolish Arkham doesn't know what's going on. We are now led to Arkham Reborn Issue 2, which was released in January 2010, where all the havoc of Arkham Asylum breaks loose. So, Alyce Sinner pretends to be Amadeus Arkham, with a certain voice recording to sound like him, sound all curse. Inmates like Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, and Clayface hears this. This puts Arkham Asylum in a lot of jeopardy. A lot of work for Jeremiah Arkham to gain trust and keep patients calm went down the drain. Everything is lost. So, in issue 3 of Arkham Reborn, which was released in February 2010, finally brings Batman to get involved with all of this, to take down all the inmates who's causing a lot of havoc, a lot of ruckus to the asylum. There was a conversation between Alyce Sinner, Batman, and Jeremiah Arkham in this whole havoc. Also, there's a certain conversation, a certain love thing, romance between Black Mask and Alyce Sinner, who both plan on what's going on between the asylum and why they're operating the asylum a certain way to take down Jeremiah Arkham. Hence reveals the truth of Alyce Sinner, as Jeremiah Arkham and Alyce Sinner have a conversation. She takes out a ribbon that says despair. She feels a lot of sorrow. Here's the truth about her origin. She had a lover in the cult. Her parents didn't really agree with it. In fact, they got caught in their whole love relationship thing, and the parents pretty much told her and the guy never to see each other again. The guy said that the love was a mistake. In her despair, in her sorrow, she killed the whole cult. Children, mothers, fathers, babies, out of revenge for the love that rejected her. And now all that was revealed was wrath against Jeremiah Arkham, as she takes out a weapon, the can opener, and goes to stab Jeremiah Arkham. But Aaron Cash jumps in and throws her into a cell where she is claimed insane. And you would think that would be the end of her, until she first appeared, or once again appeared, in Detective Comics issue 846 on June 2010, where she is shown as past tense of what happened in Arkham Reborn. Yeah, so what happened is that Black Mask is actually Jeremiah Arkham this whole time. Her lover, she betrayed the whole time. Here's the thing, in this story, she's the director of the asylum. Yeah, Alyce Sinner is the director of the asylum. Reason is because Jeremiah Arkham is schizophrenic, making everyone believe that he just hallucinated that she tried to kill him. It's all in his mind. It never happened. It never will happen. That's why he doesn't remember that Jeremiah Arkham and Black Mask are one of the same people. And so we get into Detective Comics issue 865. Truth be told, Jeremiah wants Alyce Sinner. He actually loves her, and she loves him. In fact, I lied. She is not the director of the asylum, but she is promoted to be the director of the asylum. But it is a whole twisted thing, as these two are the ones that overrun the asylum at the moment. The next comic that Alyce Sinner appeared in is in Batman issue 699, which reveals a forgotten villain. There's only one scene with her that she talks to Commissioner Gordon about another villain known as Black Spell, him being a trouble resident, as she put it as. She even asks Firefly if he has any information, to which he freaks out, saying, "This guy's gonna kill me. Get him away from me." The next issue is Titans issue 30, which released in February 2011. As noted, there is a breakout that is happening in Arkham Asylum. The guard, Aaron Cash, comes into Director Alyce Sinner's office to tell her about this and that things need to be done and quickly before it gets worse. Of course, Batman is in the mix of this to protect everyone inside Arkham Asylum. And it's all the reason because Deathstroke is trying to have certain escapees, and the people or the inmates within the asylum are the distraction. However, Alyce Sinner threatens to use a certain remote that has an electrical collar that will shock them if they don't go back in their cells. That doesn't work out very well. She also appears briefly in one panel of Action Comics issue 897. As you can see, before Lex Luthor enters the asylum to meet a certain inmate, he shakes hands with Alyce Sinner, and that's all you get from her in this comic. Next, she would again briefly appear in Batman issue 706. This whole story involves around some type of powerful relic, and it leads Batman to finding answers for his questions. He goes to Arkham Asylum and has a talk with Alyce Sinner, to which she says she knows that Batman doesn't trust her due to her past, but to tell him that she's not the bad guy and that she wants him to trust her. However, we know he's not a fool, so that's not going to work out. Next up is Gotham City Sirens, issue 20, which appeared in April 2011. The whole story is that Harley Quinn is pretty much breaking into Arkham Asylum to kill the Joker once and for all. And this is just some type of backstory that explains about Alyce Sinner and her relationship between Harley Quinn, how they are friends, and she knows about her past with the cult, with the lover, and how one time added in the story that her lover made a fabricated flower, saying that she will get flowers from him, that he would buy flowers for her. Only after, due to their certain love, that the parents caught them doing stuff with each other to where that lover rejected her. Of course, as Harley Quinn says, she didn't really judge her because she had her own personal reasons to fall in love for the Joker. But as a certain type of weapon for Alyce Sinner to knock her out, she created her own fabricated flower that has knockout gas. Of course, she appears in Gotham City Sirens issue 21, but it's just a brief appearance again. Pretty much it just plays back on the scene of what happened to Alyce Sinner and what's going on in Arkham Asylum. So yeah, there's your brief appearance right there. The next issue is Gotham City Sirens issue 23 that she would appear in for a good few scenes, or several scenes that is. She is found unconscious on a couch, only to wake up next to her lover, current lover, Jeremiah Arkham. So the two share a kiss after she gives him back his mask, a gift to him from her that she has saved for a very long time. The two are found on a roof, as Black Mask says to Alyce Sinner that all his plans had been jeopardized due to Harley Quinn, who was supposed to kill Joker but didn't. Instead, she has her own weakness. He tried to negotiate with the Joker, tried to escape the walls. He wanted to escape the walls with his lover, Alyce Sinner, but as he says, tonight won't be the night. And she says that she waited a long time to escape with him. She can wait longer. So, what happens next? They go back into the cafeteria where the Havoc is, and Black Mask, with Alyce Sinner, demands Joker to get back the guards. In fact, he tells Joker that he's going to get back the guards. In reply against Black Mask, who then says, we have a bunch of prisoners against the Joker. Joker has a remote control and kills them. So now it's just Joker against Black Mass, and a bunch of havoc is breaking loose. Due to certain things because of this, suddenly Poison Ivy breaks in, and that leads Alyce Sinner and Black Mass to escape from the scene, a cause of possibility that Joker was going to kill them next, so they can thank Poison Ivy for jumping to the scene. And just like that, there's nothing about Alyce. Neither of the two escaped, which obviously they didn't, depending on what the story said with Black Mass, so they obviously got captured. But there's a possibility that if they were outnumbered, was she an inmate? Or did they really got captured? Or did they get killed in the whole series? I tried to look at other issues about the breakout. In fact, there's no more appearances of them. This is just some type of cliffhanger. That's it. You don't get to know what happened. In fact, you might as well use your wildest imagination from what Black Mass says and just think, oh, well, yeah, they got captured. They're both inmates, and there's a new director of the asylum again because now they figured out what Alyce Sinner was planning. But hey, she's one of the first villains, or actually several villains that I've seen that where Batman couldn't have taken her down throughout any of the appearances because she was protected by the law, and Batman respects the law even though he knows how evil she is. The board of Gotham City saved her from being an inmate due to the schizophrenia that Black Mass has. That's incredible. As a forgotten villain of Batman who never really faced Batman, who had more operations in Arkham Asylum to control Arkham Asylum as long as she can without being touched, she's an incredible villain. You know her motivations, you know what she's after, you get a backstory. How much can you say that about a forgotten villain? Not very many. You either get a backstory, and you don't get that very much of a backstory. You get a motivation, or you don't get that much of a motivation, but you get all of this. You know what she's after. You know her backstory. You know what she's about. Now, as a villain, and just other characters in general, I'm trying to do a reimagined series of Batman and his villains. If I were to reimagine her, instead of the ribbons showing her sins, I would say I'd probably have her have tattoos of the 7 deadly sins on her. And for her to explain the certain deadly sins that she is about to act or how she feels. To have that certain type of connection between her name, the sinner herself, portrayed with her theme. Also, this is a suggestion by Fitter. He knows who he is. Thank you for the suggestion. Also, how would you guys reimagine her? Comment down below, and happy Halloween, and I'll see you guys in the next video.